A coalition of faith leaders speaks out after Governor Landry signed a law eliminating one of Louisiana's black majority congressional districts.
As Sabrina Wilson reports, they commit to getting more people involved in the democratic process.
May you give us courage and strength, perseverance and endurance.
Inside Our Lady of Guadalupe Catholic Church on Rampart Street, faith leaders from various denominations came together.
We gathered to issue a moral statement to defend human dignity and civil rights.
They are part of the organization Communities of Hope, and they are challenging recent decisions they say unjustly gerrymander the state and deprive Louisianans of their right to political representation. Recently, Governor Landry signed a bill into law that eliminates one of Louisiana's black majority and Democratic-leaning congressional districts.
Our presence here today is saying we understand what's been signed, but we also understand that we are going to lead and provoke God's people to take a stand.
The author of the bill that redrew Louisiana's electoral districts map calls it fair. It followed the U.S. Supreme Court striking down Louisiana's Congressional District 6, saying its boundaries were drawn with too much emphasis on race. The new map could help Republicans win another seat in Congress.
I'm for Republican ideals and Republican principles. I want Congress people to advance those type of interests regardless of their skin color.
The religious leaders signed the moral statement, and the organization says they will do more.
We mean that every congregation in Communities of Hope and among this collaboration is going to be establishing organizing ministries within its churches to take up that work of registering and encouraging people to vote.
The Louisiana legislature also passed a bill that would prohibit people from sleeping on the street.
The homeless, the immigrant, those who seek fair representation in civic government feel marginalized.
The group has spoken out before, including when ICE was conducting large-scale immigration raids in New Orleans and surrounding areas, and continues to do so.
Protect immigrant communities from unlawful detention, family separation, and deportation without due process.
The group says it's also calling on elected officials, institutions, and fellow citizens to uphold and defend the U.S. Constitution, reject all forms of bigotry, and restore civil rights enforcement at every level of government.